By the end of this episode, you'll understand why life hides its answers from you, why clarity comes only after movement, and why the universe gives you uncertainty on purpose. Let's start with a story. Imagine a young apprentice walking through a great library. Floors of silence, thousands of books, the scent of old leather and dust. The apprentice asks the old master, "Why don't the books simply tell us the truth? Why must we spend years searching for it?" The master closes the book he's holding. "Because," he says, "the truth given too early becomes a burden. The truth discovered becomes wisdom." This is epistemic distance, the hidden gap between you and the answers you seek. Not because the truth is absent, but because you must grow into the person capable of seeing it. And today we are going to explore that gap, why it exists, how it shapes your life, and how mastering it is the key to self-love, purpose, intuition, relationships, and success. So let's break it down. Epistemic distance means there is a purposeful gap between what is true and what you currently know. You're never given perfect information. You're not handed complete clarity. You must choose whether to seek truth or to avoid it. And that choice, that freedom, is where growth happens. The philosopher John Hick described it like this: if truth were undeniable, you wouldn't choose your beliefs. You'd be coerced by evidence. So life hides the answers just enough so you can search, so you can decide, so you can grow, so you can become. Epistemic distance is the tension between possibility and knowledge. It's what makes you human. This isn't just spiritual, it's neurological. Your brain has two competing systems: pattern-making survival brain and conscious creative brain. The survival brain wants certainty. It wants immediate answers. It fills in the gaps, even if the answer it gives you is wrong. The creative brain thrives on ambiguity. It grows from confusion. It expands through uncertainty. Epistemic distance is the psychological stretch zone where curiosity grows, courage builds, intelligence evolves, creativity comes alive, identity forms. Without epistemic distance, your brain would never stretch, it would simply obey. With it, you learn to think. Look back at your life. When did you grow the most? When things were clear, or when things were uncertain? We grow when we're unsure, uncomfortable, searching. Epistemic distance is the gym for the mind and the soul. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without uncertainty, there is no discovery. Even spirituality, the principles makes sense. If intuition shouted, you wouldn't listen, you'd obey. If purpose was printed on paper, you wouldn't earn it, you'd follow. If relationships came with a manual, you wouldn't develop empathy, you'd just execute instructions. Distance forces you to walk the path yourself. This may surprise you. You cannot see yourself clearly until you start acting. Most people wait for self-love to appear before they move, but epistemic distance works the opposite way. You gain self-love after you take action that proves you are worth loving. You don't see your worth clearly from the start. The distance is there. You close the distance through discipline, action, boundaries, courage, decisions, self-respect. Self-love is not an idea, it's a byproduct of movement. Every relationship has epistemic distance built in. You don't know whether someone will stay, whether they love you fully, whether they're safe to trust, whether they're aligned with your future. And that uncertainty is the test. Because trust doesn't exist without doubt, and commitment doesn't exist without choice. Distance creates vulnerability, intimacy, authenticity. If you knew someone's soul fully on day one, a relationship wouldn't be a relationship. It'd be a data download. You do not get your life purpose in advance. You get hints, whispers, nudges, intuition, curiosity, resistance. You never get clarity until you move your feet. That's the rule. Every successful person eventually learns purpose is revealed appointment by appointment, not in advance. So imagine you're holding a magical map. But there's a twist. The map only reveals the next step when you take the first one. If you stand still, the map stays blank. That map is your life. That is epistemic distance. You don't see step 10, you barely see step 1. But when you take step 1, step 2 reveals itself. You never get certainty up front, only clarity after movement. So here's the paradox. The more you move, the closer the truth gets. The longer you wait, the further it feels. People think, when I'm certain, I'll take action. But life says, when you take action, you become certain. The distance is shortened by motion, not thinking. So, how do we use it to transform our existence? Well, first is stop waiting for certainty. Clarity is a reward, not a starting condition. We should treat doubt as a tool. Doubt forces investigation. Investigation leads to wisdom. We should move first and understand later. Actions create feedback. Feedback creates clarity. We should follow curiosity, not confidence. Confidence comes last. Curiosity comes first. We should let intuition whisper. If your intuition screamed, you'd be overwhelmed. It speaks softly, so you learn to listen. And we should love the process of uncovering, not knowing. Growth lives in the search. Sometimes the distance hurts though, doesn't it? When you don't know what to do. When the future feels foggy. When your self-worth feels invisible. When love feels uncertain. When your purpose feels distant. But this pain is not punishment, it's direction. Pain often means you're close, keep going. The fog thins after movement. So to master epistemic distance, we need to embrace ambiguity, accept imperfect information, make decisions before you feel ready, move without the final map, let truth reveal itself naturally. Understand uncertainty is sacred. And remember, if clarity came instantly, nothing would matter. Because everything gained without effort is soon forgotten. Everything discovered through effort becomes identity. Because picture a lighthouse on the coast. The light doesn't show you the whole ocean, only the next few meters. But those few meters are always enough to keep you moving. Epistemic distance is the space between the lighthouse and the shore, between the known and the unknown, between who you are and who you will be. You don't need to see the whole truth. You just need to move toward the light you have. And the rest reveals itself, step by step. This episode was brought to you by Strong Coffee Company, protein-packed coffee for energy and clarity. use code Vancrux1 for 20% off at strongcoffeecompany.com. And then we have more labs, clinically proven hydration and recovery drinks. Use code Vancrux1 for 25% off at morelabs.com. And finally, liquor gummies, the electrolytes and vitamins for hangover prevention. Use code Vancrux1 for 20% off at liquor.com. That's liqure.com.